Normally I don't like to burn animals, but you know, in this case it's kind of necessary. Hello guys and welcome back to some more Dragon Age Origins. I did accidentally forget to record for a little bit, so you missed about 10 minutes of gameplay. But it wasn't that exciting anyway. I literally just went over to this guy, sold a bunch of stuff. Went in, spoke to a guy about about the guy I found dead over there, so something, another knight that I decided to tell the other knights about. But that's about it. Otherwise, you didn't really miss anything of them. People call me rude because I saved the big guy.
So, this thing you and him have going, doesn't that violate your vows?
What? What kind of question is that to just blurt out? What do we have going?
Yes,
going?
I'm that blind. I so totally did not see you ogling each other before.
He was not ogling me, was he? Was he really ogling me?
Excuse me, who's ogling who?
You say it, I'm not sure. Maybe he wasn't ogling you. I don't know. I could always ask him.
You can't do that. Could you? You couldn't do that.
Oh, that guy.
But I won't. Next thing you'll have me pulling his hair and passing him love letters.
Just mind your own business. How inappropriate.
Alright, so it seems like she has something for the night guy over there. There's a night guy up here. It might be her flirt, who knows? Anyway, it's fine. I'll go over to the spider lady. Why not? It's fine. So I think there's romance. It kind of sold its whole like we can have a bunch of companions and perhaps some romance in the description of the game. So I hope it lives up to that somehow, in some weird way. Now I'm just running back and forth thinking what to do. The Blight. What should I do? The Isle of Redcliffe. Seek out Owl. Elstad thinks that you should seek the help of Eamon Gurin, the Isle of Redcliffe. Gain Osama's aid in battling the Blight. You need to travel deep underground to the fabled dwarven city of... Okay. What about this one? Help the temple. Sure. Make active. But I still don't know where I need to go. Okay, it seems like I have to go over here. Alright, I shall help the little town of Lothering with some issues regarding bandits and whatnot. Wait, are these wolves? Don't tell me you made this up. I might have to go to healing. No, mine, it looks fine. The healing equals 0. Oh, he's fine. Oh boy, never mind. They might not be fine. What? Specialization? You have a qualify for specialization? Unique advanced talents or benefits. Characters may have up to 2 specializations, with the first becoming available at level 7 and the second level at 14. But first you need to find a trainer. A trainer? Who trained me? I'm just a weakling. Oh boy, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be me running for my life again. I could use the fire one right about now. Burn. Normally I don't like to burn animals, but you know, in this case it's kind of necessary. Sorry again. You all just kind of line up in front of me. Stop running so fast. These animals are mean. Fine, here you go. Hope the town man is happy now. And I hope my companions don't hate me for just leaving them behind. Alright guys, I made a strategic retreat, okay? It was all strategy. Will you please get up? I'm kind of proud of you guys managed to do, even though you're very weak. Big weaklings. So how do I find someone who can teach me stuff? There were mages who trained their magical arts to augment their martial prowess. They channel magical power through their weapons and bodies, becoming terrors on the battlefield. Most consider these skills lost forever, but they may linger in forgotten corners of the world. Arcane warriors may learn to use... What? May learn to use their magic score to satisfy the strength requirement. Not all entities of the fated demonic. Many are benevolent entities consisting of life energy, which can be called upon to mend flesh and heal disease. Spirit healers focus on telling them, making them indisciplined members of party of adventurers. Okay, that's cool. As shapeshifter, I don't need that. But she said she could teach me to become a shapeshifter, I guess. So that is possible. I just need more health, to be honest. More health and more, I guess, dexterity. Yeah, I need this. Give me lightning, please. Thank goodness. Now I also have lightning. Woohoo. Characters make simple potions. Sure, create. Let's create a bunch of them. Now, when it comes to this, can I get rid of this one? And this one, that one. I would prefer if you two swap place. I also preferred if heal was closer over here. Alright, there we go. That's at least a little bit better. What's this all about?
Yes.
We found the body of the boy's mother and have recovered her keepsake. Oh wait, this was the mother? Oh, that's just sad. Oh well, don't worry, we'll return. Short bow. We have returned with bad news, I'm afraid. Oh well, let's see what this is all about.
Let him take notice and shine upon thee, for thou hast done his work this day.
Okay, actually, can I change them later on? Yeah, I know I have to find a trainer, but that's not exactly what I was thinking about. Like, she's already a shapeshifter, so can I talk to her? Discuss something personal?
You're hardly alone, so privacy is not an option. It is your question, however. Ask what you will.
Never mind, I don't have anything to ask you.
What do you wish of me?
Ask you.
If you must.
Is Flemeth really what she seems to be?
Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
A naughty old bat. Oh my goodness, a powerful Malefica, I don't know how to pronounce that.
You mean, is she truly the Flemeth of legend and story?
Pretty
Tell
much,
me,
yeah.
how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
I mean, I've heard a little bit of it.
No doubt such a tale has mutated much over time and telling. I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
I mean, that sounds interesting, actually.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
Yes, I've heard this part.
The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conabar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous lord, who looked on from afar. Lord Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed.
He sold his wife to another man?
The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement. All would have been well had Lord Conabar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
She spoke to spirits or demons?
Spirits first, and 'twas they who slew Conabar. Flemeth did not turn to the demon until much later. Lord Conabar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
I mean, which she never invaded, or he never defeated her? Huh?
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion.
Oh.
As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
I mean, that's interesting. Alright, do you believe her version?
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has coloured her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
And how is it she has survived for so long?
The demon within her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps some would say. I know not.
You know
I
not?
only know my mother is clever, and she is part of the wilds as it is part of her. But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find her.
Ah, lucky, huh? The legend tells of Flemeth having many daughters.
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one. And these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
Alright, and why would he refuse to speak of them?
The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts. It may be true. I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
Wow, that sounds great. Aren't abominations usually, insane horrors? The Ring and I don't know, like mutated beings or something.
How often is this usually? Always? If not always, then when is it not true? There are more things in this world and the next than you or I could ever hope to understand. What Flemeth became is a mystery. I suspect, even to her.
Alright, but I have seen things. I have fought a demon. Alright, well, an interesting story, thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
I mean, I love her. What else do you want to know?
Nothing. I wish to know nothing more. I find myself a little envious, to tell the truth. But it matters not. Let us move on.
Alright, cool. I mean, I was interested in the other stuff you had to talk about.
If you must.
Did you grow up in the Kokari Wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
I mean, you can probe me anytime. I just realized what I was saying. I mean, you can probe me anytime.
Beg pardon then while I jump for joy. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
You remained unnoticed?
For the most part. Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
I mean, very daring. That sounds like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
I mean, what happened to the poor man?
Who cares? As I recall, he was executed. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did
My
not have
goodness,
trouble.
you just
There
caused
are
a guy
things
to
about
die and you're
human
like, oh,
society
whatever.
which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
Touching like a handshake?
To begin with, yes. What is the point of touching my hand? I find it an offensive intrusion. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
I mean, yet here you are.
Yes, here I am. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
I guess, yes, but I wanted to talk. I don't like how it just kind of jumps me out of all the other dialogue options. So life in the wilds must have been very lonely?
At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, that was to the trees.
That's so sad. I wonder, how did you not go crazy? And did they speak back, and that seemed normal to you?
What did I have to compare it with? In time, I began to wonder, of course. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. It was encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
Well, I can't imagine Flemeth was pleased about that.
She was not. Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken.
I mean, that makes sense. You were just a child.
And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination. Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
Well, those are harsh lessons to teach a child.
Perhaps, but they were necessary still. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
They still can have, can't they? That's fine. Alright, let's see if I can ask her more questions. I know that these videos are going to be dialogue, so I'm going to apologize for that, but that's what most of this game is, I think. The combat isn't definitely isn't the big part about it. Yeah, more stuff.
If you must.
Have you ever been haunted by the Chantry? Yeah, that's actually a good question. Yeah, have you ever been haunted by the hunted by the Chantry?
You are very cute to ask so many questions.
What do you mean cute? And you're cute when you're evasive.
Really? Perhaps we should be wrapped in ribbons and adorned with flowers. So cute are we, too. Oliver has been haunted from time to time,
Great.
yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
You really had no trouble with them?
I am unsure. I was too young to understand, and perhaps 'twas bravado on Flemeth's part, or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait, a little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Did you actually kill them all?
Me? No, I never did any of the killing until later. And even then, Flemeth was a glutton for that sort of thing. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Oh, wow. Don't you regret hurting any of those men at all?
Would they have regretted hurting me? I was a young child. Yet do you think they would not have gleefully held my head aloft as a trophy? There are no trials for apostates, no prisons, no mercy. There are only absolutes, so only survival matters.
I mean, I guess that makes
If the wilds
sense.
have taught me anything, 'tis this. First, you must survive. Do you disagree?
No, it's an instinct in all of us. Actually, I do disagree. Like, I partly disagree and I partly agree because, like, it's built into all of us. We all have the instinct to survive no matter what. And at the same time, we have this lady here who did everything to survive, but she has had to do dirty things to do so. I mean, sure, absolutely, there are worse things than death, you know.
Oh? I would ask what exactly, but I'm certain that would be a lengthy conversation, and suddenly I grow very weary. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Oh, she didn't like that. Oh, she disapproved big time. After all the work on you and you disapproved because I decided to say that, oh, killing
Yes?
people's bad.
If you must.
If you must. Can you teach others to become shape changers? Yeah.
By others, do you mean yourself?
I mean, yes, I'm considering it.
Then I shall teach you what I can whenever we are in camp, provided you have the will to even make the attempt, that is.
Okay, cool. Wait, how much does she hate me? Just curious. When it comes to... Seriously? She's only +4 now? Why do I bother with her? Can't just go with her instead? She's way more nice, but also +4 though. Oh, that's just my XP. Whoops. +8. Maybe just go for him. Alright, anything else I can do when it comes to quests and such? Colden, you read about a blight and bears. Oh yeah, that's right. Sure, where are the bears? Seems that they are all the way over here. Well, but I'm actually gonna have to end this video now. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, click that like button. If you want to see more from me, search for 8000 with the subscribe button. And I hope to see you in the next one. And as always, stay awesome.